What's your Everest? Any big dream or goal comes with its set of obstacles. There really is no way around them. As much as I've always thought and daydreamed even about shortcuts or ways around them, if you think of when you're climbing a mountain, there are a host of obstacles. There's certainly the challenges of raising funds in order to underwrite the expedition, to just afford it. There's sometimes hard to get the time off to go on the trip in the first place. There's a whole host of permits and permissions, all these bureaucratic challenges just to get an expedition to base camp. Then once you're on the mountain, wow, there's a lot of obstacles. On Everest, on its south side, there is the huge Khumbu icefall, which presents monstrous crevasses, 200-300 feet deep. Huge chunks of ice called seracs that tower above you and quickly you walk beneath. These are considerable obstacles. And it doesn't end there. Up higher on the mountain, it's often very windy. It's usually extremely cold. And there's not a lot of air to breathe. And when you're up there, you feel tired. You can't really sleep that well, so you never seem to recover. I mean, it's miserable at times, which makes you wonder, why are you going in the first place? But it is those challenges, it is those obstacles that in this crazy way give a lot of texture to the experience. It makes the experience rich because we learn to overcome them. And each obstacle that we face seems to prepare us for the next one. And that then prepares us for the one after that. And we find, at least I do in climbing, the higher you go up the mountain, the more difficult the obstacles begin. But you've had all these other challenges in the valley floor that has made you stronger, that has strengthened your reserve, that has built your confidence. And the obstacles aren't always external. They aren't always beyond our control. They are sometimes, and often, the biggest obstacles, the ones that reside within us. The doubt and the fear that we have. Fears that can often be like, it's like they're shackles, you're so scared, you don't even want to retreat, you can't go forward, and you're paralyzed. You're just stuck there, unable to move forward, so scared. This is one of, I think, the more challenging obstacles to get over. Fear, it has to be. And I think of all the things I've tried to do in my life, regardless of how they ended up, fear of one form or another was probably the biggest obstacle I had to get over. And it was the one thing that I had control over. Well, in reality, it had control over me, at least at first. I thought, well, how then do I conquer this particular obstacle? How do I conquer fear? Fear is something maybe that we can't conquer. And you know what? I don't think we should. Because what can fear bring us? Fear brings us pause for thought. Fear brings energy, that sense of, hey, I got to get to work. I got to get doing things. So fear isn't some foe we need to conquer. Fear is, in fact, an ally. Fear is an important part, I think, of the journey. When you're feeling scared, I think, okay, now we're on to something. And we can now take that energy, we can take that clarity of thought and focus it toward our goal. It's about where in our lives do we put our focus. When we face large obstacles, we have to remember we're equipped to deal with them. We just may not believe that, but we have the ability. And this obstacle will train us for the next, and the next, and the next. All of them, like at school, the quizzes you take throughout the term to prepare you for the final exam. Little obstacles along the way, preparing us to get to the summit.